Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video today we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite topic, taxes. Okay, yeah, I don't think taxes is really anyone's favorite thing to talk about, but it is something that is essential if you want to live in the world and don't want the IRS to come knocking at your door. Whether you're just getting into publishing on KDP and need to fill out your tax info, or you're ready to take care of tax time and need your tax forms, then this video is for you and I will help you figure things out so that you don't get audited. Also, I would like to quickly preface this by saying I am definitely not a tax expert by any means. I don't know a ton of legal stuff. I did a lot of thorough research before doing this video just to make sure I'm not steering you guys in the wrong direction, but I am not a tax expert. So if you need like super specific tax info, do not ask me. Ask an expert, a professional, someone who isn't me. Also, I did do a lot of research, but if for any reason any of the info that I share is wrong, please let me know down in the comments because I would hate to be steering you guys in the wrong direction. And if you let me know, I'll leave a pinned comment with just any updates of anything that I said that needed amendments. So make sure to take a peek down there just to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, so let's get right into it. First off, when writing on KDP, you are considered a writer, an author, even if you're just creating a notebook. In Amazon KDP's eyes, you are a writer, an author, and therefore you are a small business owner. Amazon does not withhold any of your earnings, so you are fully responsible for paying any of the taxes on your earnings to the IRS. Now, this may sound a little intimidating. Honestly, when it comes to anything business-wise, taxes are always like one of the scariest things, and it's hard because there's never any clear info, I feel like, about taxes. I'm going to provide you with a lot of basic info to get you started getting on track to figuring out your taxes so that you can enjoy publishing your KDP books with full peace of mind that you are doing it legally. So first off, I'm going to go over setting up your account. If you have already set up all your tax info and everything, maybe you've already published books, then make sure to skip this part. But if you have not done so yet, or if you are intimidated by it, then watch this. All right, first off, you will need to put in this info in order to publish books, in order to make money. So this is essential. And here's what you're gonna do. So first start off by going to KDP, and then up at the top, you want to click the button that says your account. All right, so there are going to be 3 different sections here. You're going to see author/publisher information. You're going to see getting paid. And then at the bottom is tax information. In order to put in your tax information, make sure you've already filled out everything above. Make sure you have put in your full name, your address, your bank account, all of that in order to be able to put in your tax info. When you're ready, there is going to be a button to take the interview. Make sure to click that button and then just go through and fill everything out. Thankfully, KDP kind of walks through you on all of it. You can fill this out whether you're a US resident or non-US resident, though it is a little bit different and slightly more complicated if you are a non-US resident, but it is still completely possible and I don't want you to be intimidated by it. Just make sure that you understand things with your country. And fortunately, KDP will kind of fill in the blanks for some of that stuff. Just make sure you already have all the info that you need and you're able to put it in. Fortunately, you can take care of all the tax stuff online just through this really simple questionnaire that KDP presents to you. And then at the very end, they're going to ask you if you consent to using your electronic signature, or if you don't, in which case you'll need to print it out and mail it to the address provided. Granted, that is a little more complicated, so I would recommend just going ahead and consenting to the electronic signature, but if that makes you uncomfortable for any reason, go ahead and mail the document. And then at the end, there should be a W-9 presented to you. It might be different if you're a non-US resident, I'm not sure, but you'll see a whole list of everything. Make sure that you go through and ensure that everything that you put is correct, because you don't want any of that to be wrong. In which case, just go back to the previous sections and amend it, and then go back and then just submit it when you are complete. All right, yay. Once that is taken care of, you can begin publishing books, start making sales, and then just bear in mind that the royalty that you make on every one of your books is going to be considered taxable income, which I'm going to be talking a little bit more about shortly. All right, tax time is upon us, so getting your tax forms from KDP is something that is going to be important when doing your tax returns. If you're a US resident, you'll be getting a 1099. If you are a non-US resident, it'll be something else. I don't remember what exactly it is, but just make sure that you get your tax form, and here is how to do it. So first off, after putting in all your tax information, like at the beginning, you can opt to either go paperless or to have the tax form delivered to your address. I have already opted to go paperless, so all that I have to do, and I'm pretty sure even if you had it mailed to you, you can download it online. But anyway, just make sure that you go to the tax information section, and then you will see the option to download your 1099, whatever your tax form is, whenever it is ready. Fortunately for me, it's ready, so I can just go ahead and download that. If it's ready for you, make sure to download it, and there you go. And then you can go ahead and use it for your tax return. Just use it as taxable income, and it's super easy. Also, one thing to note, you will only be receiving these forms. So if you are a US resident, you'll be receiving your 1099 if you've made at least $10 in the calendar year. If you're a non-US resident, you'll be receiving your tax form if you have made at least 49 cents during the calendar year. If you haven't made that money, you won't receive the form, and so then you don't even have to worry about your taxes for it this year, and you can just focus on next year. Thankfully, that part is very simple. And now continuing on, if you have a larger KDP business, if you make a substantial amount of money, it is going to be a little more complicated, more so than just using that tax form for your tax returns. Okay, remember, as a publisher on KDP, you are considered a small business owner. If you're only making a couple bucks here and there, your tax forms are the only thing that is important, and you just worry about that during tax return time. But if you anticipate owing more than $1,000 in taxes to the IRS within a year, then it does get a little bit trickier. In doing the math, and I might be wrong about this, but it is about $3,000 that you'd need to be making in the calendar year in order for it to be considered like a bit of a larger business that you have. So if you'd only been making a few dollars or so, if you'd been making less than this, then during tax return time, you would have put in your income that you had made, and then you likely would have had to have paid some amount of money unless your tax return was large enough from your other income. But either way, you might be paying your taxes then. But if you make a certain amount of money, so in this case, maybe roughly $3,000, anything that you anticipate paying over $1,000 in taxes for, then you'll probably be paying a crazy large number that you don't want to be paying right at that time. And unfortunately, you may end up incurring some extra fees that you didn't need to pay in the first place, just because the IRS is mad that they had to wait so long in order to receive your money. Because if you make a certain amount, you're going to need to pay estimated quarterly taxes, which is every quarter, so every 3 months, which is kind of the better way to do it, because fortunately then you don't have to pay all your taxes at the end of the year. You pay them by the quarter, and also because the IRS wants your money sooner and doesn't want to have to wait a whole year. So for me, I pay estimated quarterly taxes. I operate under a sole proprietorship, which basically I am an individual. It's not something complicated like an LLC or an S corp or a partnership or any of that fancy stuff. But anyway, as a sole proprietor, it's very simple, and all that I do is pay estimated quarterly taxes to the IRS, and I didn't have to worry about filing in order to start up my business or anything. So it's a very easy way to just get started, and I think this is one of the things that can intimidate a lot of would-be business owners who are getting started but don't understand all the tax implications and all of that. But anyway, if you're a US resident, if you are making roughly $3,000 in taxable income, and this could be a combination of different things, like for me, I make my income in a lot of different ways, so I'm paying estimated quarterly taxes anyway. It's not just on my KDP books, it's on a little bit of everything. And here are just some basic tips to get started figuring out all your tax stuff. So first off, you're going to want to keep track of everything, and I'm talking everything. You're going to want to keep track of your income, your expenses, every single thing that you pay for your business or that you earn as a result of your business. You're gonna wanna keep it all in one place. I do this in a spreadsheet. I keep track of all my income, I keep track of all my expenses, and also make sure to keep receipts, because with the IRS, if they come knocking at your door, if they want to audit you, unfortunately, you can't just give them your spreadsheet. They're going to want to see hard proof that you have been paying what you actually owe. And the way that you can do this is through receipts. Ideally, if you have actual physical copies, that helps, because you never know if something digital is gonna just go haywire and you're gonna lose everything, and then it's gonna be a lot more complicated, and you do not want that. For me, I try to archive all the emails that I get for my income and for my expenses. And I also keep track of everything in my spreadsheet, so it is easy to see when and where and everything for all the payments that I make and all the money that I receive. And now each quarter you are going to be paying taxes on the money that you earned during that quarter to the IRS and you can deduct any expenses that you had for your business during that quarter. So for example, KDP, like let's say you hired someone on Fiverr to design a book cover for you, then that would be an expense, or a Canva Pro subscription, or paying for ads on Amazon KDP. These are all expenses. Unfortunately, you can deduct them from what you owe. Unfortunately, even if you're not paying estimated quarterly taxes, if you're not making that amount of money, you can still deduct your expenses, even if you're, say, making a couple dollars. Your expenses are still expenses, and you can use those during tax return time. For me, for paying my estimated quarterly taxes, I go to payusatax.com. There are probably a bunch of different ways that you can do it, but this is the way that I do it for paying my estimated quarterlies. Unfortunately, it's very simple, and there is a convenience fee at the end that I believe is like $2.55. Fortunately, it's not too bad, and I consider that as an expense for my upcoming quarters as well. All right, guys, that about sums it up. So I know that taxes can be really, really intimidating. They can be intimidating for just about anyone, and it's hard to figure out like all the clear info. I hope that this basic info has helped you figure out, at least get you started on figuring out all your taxes, both for setting up and for tax time, and if you need to pay estimated quarterlies. I really hope that this has helped you. And remember, no one likes to pay taxes. I know I don't like to pay taxes. I like living in America and I like having all like my rights and everything, but that doesn't mean that I like to pay taxes. Anyway, I really hope that this video has helped you, and I hope that it's eliminated some of that gray area, some of that confusion with taxes. Fortunately, KDP makes it very simple, and I hope that this has helped clear things up for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. I would super duper appreciate it, and I would love to have you. Alright guys, hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye!